very last word that comes right.
Everybody for coming out today, no matter what part of the room you're on, thank you so much. It really means a lot for me to see all these familiar faces.
I know it's not over.
Hey, you're doing good. You're doing good.
Help inspire his fellow man. And whereas J.R. enjoyed playing football for Dalton High School Catamounts, and has since inspired many young Dalton athletes with his attitude and perseverance. Whereas J.R. Martinez honored and served his country in the United States Army as an 11-B infantryman in Iraq and was wounded while carrying out his mission. Whereas J.R. did not allow his injuries to change his outlook on life, he saw that by sharing his experience and perseverance through setbacks with others, he could inspire others to overcome setbacks as well. J.R. Martinez Day in Dalton and Woodville County. Hereby, I urge all citizens to recognize the exceptional achievements of J.R. who have distinguished himself and has brought honor and credit to his family, his friends, and his city. We wish him the best in all of his future endeavors.
The thing that happened to J.R. when he went over the war, and how, he came back was such an inspiring person. J.R. has always been an inspiring person. And he's given so many people faith, he's given so many people hope when he had every chance and every opportunity to give up hope, and he never did. And on behalf of our class of seniors, we'd like to present this helmet that each of us signed and the coaches signed. Just a token to kind of always remember us and that special bond that we always shared, how much it meant to us. JR, it's a pleasure to call you a friend. It's a pleasure to call you teammate. It's a pleasure to call you inspiration. We love you.
From that football season to when we went to, we played that whole season. It was a winning tradition. There was so much richness, to my senior year. To Miss Ward telling me, from the first day I went to Ryman Farms for senior night, she was like, everything's better in Georgia. That's just the first thing that is stuck in my head, and you know what? It has been better here, And I remember asking my mom one day, what am I going to do? And she said, whoever's going to love you, whoever's going to be in your life is going to love you for who you are, not what you look like. And I said to her, I was like, well, I have a personality. I really didn't think I had a personality. And it's funny, Like Aaron, I remember him calling me one day. He was like, well, you actually look better now than you did before. And I was like, one day I was visiting the patient about 7 months after I was injured, and I realized I was able to have a positive impact. And I remember calling my mom and telling my mom, like, I think I found the answer to the question why. And I told her, I think I was kept in this world to use my experience to help other people. And she smiled and laughed on the phone, and she said, I think you may be right. And from that day on, I visited patients every single day in the hospital because it was something I really enjoyed doing. It felt right. I remember this, but my mom today at the parade was walking around this jar, and I didn't know what it was. I saw the jar, and I thought maybe somebody gave her something. And in the back, she starts telling this story, and on the lid, it says Tierra de Irak 2003. Which actually is sand from Iraq in 2003. Before I left for Iraq, I said to my mom, 19 years old, I hugged her and I said, don't worry, Mom, they can't stop me. One way or another, I'm gonna come back home. And, she was crying and gave her a big hug and a kiss, and she said to me, bring me some dirt back, like some sand from Iraq. Well, obviously, I never had that opportunity to grab the sand and actually bring it back. In 2004, she received a package, and in the package was a lot of my stuff that I had in Iraq. As my mother was going through it, she actually pulled out my boot, and she dumped the boot out. And there was just enough sand that I brought back from Iraq.
Wow, a coach said to me a couple months ago that they wanted to do this. I was yes, I want to come back home. I wanted to plan something where I spent a couple days or whatever it may be to be able to meet everyone. And I don't consider anyone here in this community or surrounding communities fans, personally. I consider you family. And so